so much. What a lovely occasion. Way beyond my wildest dreams, for sure. You know, I was so hoping that certain people who are here would be here. Those who have been my friends for so long and that have changed their locations. So glad to see them. So glad to see my family and my my brother Harry and I take good care of each other these days. And I guess I have to brag a little bit. How many grandchildren are there?
35.
35
No.
grands.
Great.
34
grand. 24 grand.
35 greats.
35 greats.
35 greats.
36 in April.
How many altogether?
59.
59 grandchildren. But, of course, we had, you all know we had 6. Peter, Betsy, David, Nancy, Sam, and Andrea. That was pretty good, don't you think? Boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl.
Yeah, 24 out of them.
You know that I've had a wonderful life. I grew up on a little farm. The bane of my existence was that we never had indoor plumbing. When I went to high school, it was a real issue with me. But I plan to go to college if I could. So I went down to Keene and got a job as a nanny, well, as a mother's helper, and for the summer for $3.50 a week, and lived with Reg and Ruth Swan, and she so happened she was my home ec teacher in high school. But when I answered the ad in the paper, I didn't realize that because it was just a box number. So I answered the box number and got to stay with them, and she invited me to live with her for the fall if I wanted to go to the normal school. So I lived down in Keene, and it was so much easier than getting back and forth up at the farm, where transportation in the winter was kind of hard. So I lived with them and went to the normal school, and my father went with me the first day and paid the $65 to the bursar. That was a lot of money for us, though. And then I don't know if you want to hear this biography or not. I'll try to make it short. Anyway, in the middle of my junior year, let's see, how was it now? Oh, I know. The end of my sophomore year, I thought I'd go to Boston to visit my aunt and my cousin for a short time. So I think we rode down, but then my cousin was working. My cousin Alma was going to Simmons and living at home, but she was working for the summer in an ice cream place. So my aunt and I went into Boston on the trolley car to spend the day and have a good time. And as we came up out of the trolley car onto Park Street, across the avenue, not far away, I saw somebody whom I thought I knew. So I said to my Aunt Ivy, "Oh, there's Carl Johnson." And he kind of turned around. I had met him very briefly in Keene, but never had any occasion to have a social time with him because I was working for a family and he was a friend of another family, and they were building a cottage up at Granite Lake and all. So all I did was just serve them coffee or something and say, "Hello, how are you?" But anyway, as I came up out of the subway, there standing on the side of the avenue was this person I recognized. So I said, "Oh, there's Carl Johnson." And he turned about and he said, "Oh, hello." He said, "I'd just been to an early movie of Gilbert and Sullivan. See, you remember all these details. And anyway, as the conversation ensued, he asked me, he said, could I call you a little later and maybe we could go somewhere, for the evening. And I kind of looked at my aunt and she seemed to be approving. So we said goodbyes, and then I thought, well, maybe he'll call and maybe he won't. But he did. We went out to Guy Lombardo at the totem pole out in Auburndale. That was our first date. Oh, I thought I died and gone to heaven. Anyway, 6 months later, in January, I decided to leave school, couldn't resist the opportunity to move from the farm to Commonwealth Avenue. That sounds fancy, doesn't it? But it was just a little 2 or 3 room apartment up on the avenue. And that was the beginning of a wonderful life. I mean, a married wonderful life. But I have to say, I've been blessed, had wonderful parents, and a good wholesome life up there on the farm. Bill, even though my father did sell hard cider. Harry, this was in the nighttime when Dad had gone to sleep. Harry, I wanted to wake him up and get some. You know what he did? He put a little hole in the back door like this, and he wouldn't put the cider out till they put the dollar in. Oh, I guess that's enough. I'm not. Thank you. Thank you so much. All of you. And I was just thinking of maybe the people who might be here. Ellen, and Marcia, and Mr. and Mrs. Finley, Sigrid and Don. Okay.
No, you're good. Well, we just wanted to have other people to have a chance.
All right.
If anybody has, I know that when Betsy sent out the invitation, she asked if you had any special